Am I the a-hole for asking my sister-in-law to pay me for throwing away my stuff? I, 32F, and my husband Alex, 34M, have allowed my sister-in-law Julie, 34F, to stay in our house due to her soon-to-be ex kicking her out after filing for divorce. Julie still has her job, but doesn't want to go through the ordeal of getting a new apartment while dealing with her soon-to-be ex, and we didn't want her to have to stay in the hotel during that. I'm Indian while Alex and the rest of his family are white. I feel like that may be relevant to what happened here. I use oils for most of my hair and skincare. I also use chemically manufactured products, but I found that it's better for my hair and skin. That's also how my mother cared for me when I was younger. Julie disapproves of this and thinks that I'm just going around town, an oily and greasy mess, despite me repeatedly explaining why I do this to her. She's tried to convince me to switch to all chemical products she uses, but I politely decline each time. When I woke up today after sleeping in with Alex, I walked into our shared bathroom and saw the case of my oils was not there. I looked further around the bathroom to see where it could be and asked my husband if he had moved it. Alex said no, and that's when I went into the living room and asked Julie about the case. Julie gave me a smirk and told me that she had woken up early this morning and took my case out of the bathroom to drive to the other side of the community we live in and dump it into the garbage bin there. I was tired and thought she was joking until Julie bragged about it, saying that she did me a favor and that I wouldn't have to use such uncivilized ways of taking care of myself. Once her words sunk in, I was pissed and called Alex into the room to explain to him what she did. Alex seemed disappointed but not surprised about what Julie did and told her what she did was disrespectful. Julie tried to defend herself, saying that she only did what she thought was best and it shouldn't be such a big deal. I cut her off, saying that I wanted her to give me $76, which was the cost of the oils, so I could replace them. Julie got nervous and said she was in a tight spot financially, so she couldn't pay me back right away. I said that was fine, but I expected her to pay me at some point. After a small back and forth, Julie eventually packed a bag and said she'd be staying in a hotel to give me time to cool down and realize how irrational I was being. A few hours later, my mother-in-law and father-in-law scolded me for making Julie uncomfortable in my home and that I shouldn't force her to pay for something so small. My husband asked his mom how she'd feel if Julie tossed out the hundreds of dollars of skincare she owned because Julie thought it wasn't good for her. My mother-in-law just replied with, "That's different," before telling us that I should apologize and then hanging up. Am I the a-hole for doing this? To add, my in-laws are paying for Julie's hotel and apparently are going to do so until she comes back to our house.
Here are the top comments.
Just to be clear, extra a-hole points to Julie for this. While you smell like oil, she reeks of unresolved racial bias. I can only guess why her soon-to-be ex threw her out.
Beyond any cultural disrespect, SIL messed with someone else's belongings. That's supposed to be taught to all kids. Regardless of culture, sister-in-law threw away someone else's stuff. Even worse, she threw away stuff that belonged to someone who's being nice enough to let her stay in their home. Even worse than that, she's being nasty with her comments. But Julie has clearly been enabled by her equally bad parents. So glad that OP's husband is behaving how he should, and somehow escaped the problems his sister has, despite being having the same parents.